Just tell me when.
Wins now.
Hi, my name is Jaye Smith, and I'm here to demonstrate to you how to set up an EV1 and EV2 sound system. These are boxes. This is an EV2 unit right here, and it looks just like this one. But this is an EV1 unit. You can tell the distinction by the little inscribing on the top of the lid. It's a little difficult to see, but it's there. The EV2 system, when you're using these in tandem, you want to take one, set it up, open the lid to the unit. You'll notice there is a power cord, 100-foot power cord. There are instructions on how to use this as a single unit or as a dual unit with the EV1 system. We are going to do the EV1 setup today. This is your power cord once again. I'm going to set that aside. What you need to do first is pull everything that you've got in this unit out and just basically set it on the ground out here. You want to make sure you get everything out of the box. Now this styrofoam right here is here just to fill in this hole. It doesn't have anything underneath it or in it. It's just a filler, so you don't need to pull that out. This is the speaker pole, and then of course you've got to pull the speaker out. Just not the easiest thing to do. Once you get everything pulled out, now you probably want to hang on to your instruction sheet. Close the lid on this unit. Lock these so that the lid can't blow open. The pole will go in this center hole in this unit. Now, imagine this unit is on the yard. It is being set up. Your number one unit will go about 20-25 feet in another direction, so that the two units are 25 feet, around 25 feet apart from one another. Once you get the pole in the top of the lid, you take your speaker, lift it up, and set it on the pole. Now, if this were a yard, I'd face the speakers out toward the yard, out that way where all the inmates are. I've got this unit pretty much staged to plug in. I'm going to take the number one unit now and imagine this being 25 feet away from this other unit. I'm going to stand it up in the position that I want it to be in and open it. I have another 100-foot cord. I'll set this on the ground. I also have another instruction sheet. Put that on the ground. I pull everything out of this box and put it on the ground.
So Jaye, what are you pulling out?
This is the speaker pole. This is the mic stand. These are microphone cords. The number one unit has 3 microphone cords. 1, 2, and 3. There is also in here a power source for the mixing board, which you won't find in the number 2 unit. We have a 3-way, we have a power cord, and we have the console adapter cables, what that's called. Now that should be everything out of there. Now the mixing board in the number one unit is in that slot where we had styrofoam in the number 2. It is carefully wrapped, and please save the wrapper and reuse it, but it can be stuffed back in this hole for right now so that you can get it later. Here's our mixing board. Now I will get together with you on the mixing board in just a minute. Right now what I need to do is remove the speaker. The lid on this one. And like I say, if I have this pole, the speaker pole in here, and I don't lock that lid, this can happen. So I lock the lid to be sure that we have a little more substantial control. Now I take the speaker, put it on the pole, and with a little practice you learn how to do that by yourself. Otherwise you might need someone else to help guide you into that. Now I have the number 1, the number 2. I take the mixing board and I place it on the number 1. The next step will be I take the power source that I have for the mixing board. That has a plug on one end, and the other end has a male adapter that plugs into the back of the mixing board. That will go in here. It has to turn in a proper direction to go in. Then I will tighten this little nut so that it stays secure in there. It doesn't get pulled out.
There's a power switch right next to it.
That's the power switch next to it, and it is off right now. That would be on, but we leave that off for right now. I'll set this on the ground. Don't drop it on the ground, but set it on the ground. Then I will have a power source. Either this 100-foot extension cord or that 100-foot extension cord can reach into a power source. You only need one 110 outlet for these 2 speakers. Let's assume this is our 100-foot cord. I'm going to plug that. Well, first I'm going to take the 3-way adapter. I have a 3-way adapter that came out of the number 1 unit. I'll plug that into my power source. The number 2 unit also came with a 3-way adapter. I will also plug that in to give me numerous outlets to work from. I plug the power source for the mixing board in there. On the ground down here, coming out of the number 1 box, is a power cord for the speaker. I plug that into the speaker and also plug that into my 3-way connectors. That done, you notice I still have 3 more plugs. I'll need at least 1 more. Let's go 25 feet over here to our number 2 system. What I pulled out of the number 2 system was a power cord, a console adapter cable, and 2 microphone cords. There are only 2 microphone cords in the number 2 system. We also have a microphone stand and a microphone and pouch. Now that gives us an extra microphone. That gives us an extra microphone stand. We oftentimes don't use those, but keep them secured with the rest of the equipment. Now what I will do, one of these microphone cords is 25 feet. I'm going to take one of my 25-foot microphone cords, and if I can undo this knot. Okay, I'm going to take the cord. It's very important to notice this. I take the female end of the cord into the input line on the back of this speaker, and it actually fits in there. It only fits one way. I turn it around and it only goes in one spot, and it goes right there in the input. That leaves me a 25-foot microphone cord with a male end And I will take the console adapter cable now and untie it. The console adapter cable has a female XLR and a 1/4 inch on the other end. This is very important for using the mixing board. I plug the female end of the XLR into the male end of the 25-foot cable that's coming off the back of the speaker. I take this 25 feet over to the mixing board, and if you'll notice on the mixing board, there are a series of plugs. In order to determine which plug I need to put it in, I have to read stereo out. This is output for stereo. This says right, this says left, this says right. Now this says send and this is auxiliary. You ignore those because there's auxiliary 1, auxiliary 2. We're not using them, we're just going to use the left and the right. I plug that in. That speaker is connected to the mixing board now, speaker 2. The other thing now I need is the power cord for the number 2 speaker, which also plugs in just as the speaker on the number 1 plugs into the back. And there is an on and off switch on this speaker also. Make sure that is 0 is off. Make sure those are switched off for right now. And I take the power cord in conjunction with my other 100-foot cord. I can plug this in to this cord. I may not need the whole 100 feet. Right now I don't even need that, but I can take this, come back over to my number 1 system and plug it into the three-way adapters that I have. Now, my entire system is plugged in and ready to power up. However, I don't have a microphone. I'm going to take one of the 3 microphone cords that I have over here. I'll untie one. The female end of this XLR cord will go into the number 1 channel. And once again, it only goes in one way. You have to turn it until it actually will plug in. And it should be, should be right in there, in that area. Now, 25 feet of cord. Most of our singers who would like to entertain the audience out in the field will want more cord. I'll plug in a 2nd cord or even a 3rd cord into the microphone cord to extend the distance that they're able to go out. I'll take the microphone bag, open it up. Inside the number 1 microphone bag, there is a patch cord for an MP3 player. We'll get to that in a minute. Right now I have the microphone, which I will plug into my microphone cord, which is plugged into the number 1 here. I will take my microphone stand, undo that, clip these legs out. That's the base. You undo this, extend it fully, tighten it back down, undo this and extend it and tighten it back down, and you have a microphone stand. I place the microphone stand somewhere in between the 2 units, and hopefully not in front of either one, because if this microphone should be close to the speaker, either speaker, they'll feed back. The microphone will feed back and cause a squealing sound. So I put the microphone in the mic stand, and I have that secured. Now, coming back to the number one speaker, it's still not connected to the mixing board because I still have this console adapter cable, which is just like the number two. It may be longer, it may be shorter, but it's the same 1/4 inch plug and our XLR plug. The XLR plug plugs into the back of the speaker. I know our little demonstration paper. There we go. Our demonstration paper, if you will look at, it shows, looks like a 1/4 inch plug. Understand, I can plug a 1/4 inch plug into there. This is not correct though. This illustration actually fails us in that point because I have to have this plugged in, the female end into the input line, and the 1/4 inch will go into the stereo output right hand, right here, right next to the number two speaker. It's the number one speaker, that's the number two speaker. Okay, now we are complete. Now what I need to do is I want to turn on my speakers. When it powers up, you'll see a green light. That tells you, yes, we have power. Yes, we're ready to go. These knobs, this gain, mic gain, is only for a single speaker. If I plug a microphone into this channel, I can speak through it, and that's my volume knob. I don't need it at all, so I turn it off. This says gain master, and it is. I try to keep my gain about 3/4 when I'm using my mixing board because I'll actually operate my gain off the mixing board, but I don't want this to be overamped because this is a powered speaker. I can overdo my gain on this speaker. So about 3/4, about whatever number that is.
-6.
So, yeah, -6. I'll put it on that. These can be 3/4 of the way over. They work well. That's the low frequency and the high frequency gain for this speaker. I set them when I'm doing the two speaker combination. That's the setup on each speaker. On the number two speaker, this is the number one speaker. So that would be the power setup on that. I will come over here and make sure that this speaker is also set like I had the other one, and it is. So we're good there. I will power this one on, and for some reason we're not getting power.
This is typical of what you see out in the yard.
Typical.
Solving a power problem. There we go.
Yes, we have power now. Yeah, when that lights up green, you have power on both speakers. Now, we'll return to the mixing board on the number one system. The power switch on the back of it is right here. Before you switch that switch on, look and see where your volume controls. These are all volume controls on your mixing board. This is the volume control for your microphone, for your number one microphone. If you have number two microphone, you go to the second channel, plug it in right here, and you can use one of the extra microphone cords and the extra microphone in the second channel. These channels, there are 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, are dedicated for our MP3 players. I'm going to use 7 and 8 and plug the RCA connectors into the RCA slots on channel 7. My MP3 or iPod will plug in right here, and turn up your iPod or your MP3 player, turn the volume up, control your volume right here for your MP3 player. I don't have an MP3 player with me right now, we demonstrate that. But now I can also, now that I've checked my volumes, I know everything is set, I want you to look at these gain knobs. These are very important because they will also give you the high frequency squeal. If they're turned up too high, they can give you feedback and blow your speakers out. There is a section that is earmarked. If you look at the gain marks here, there's a section that is the sweet spot for these gain controls. If they're in that sweet spot, you won't have a problem with microphone feedback unless you get very close to the speaker. Now, that set, I'm ready to turn on my mixing board. You should hear a pop. That's normal because now the speakers are powered up. I'm going to turn the volume up on my microphone to about halfway. Now I'm going to go over and test my microphone. Test, 1, 2, test. Oh, this microphone has a switch. Turn the switch on and I have a microphone. And I'm about half volume. I will turn the volume up a little more. And it will be much louder. I don't have to be as close to the microphone to be heard, but you do have to get close to the microphone if you want to be heard. That will conclude the setup for the EV1 and EV2 system. Thanks.